if you are just exhausted by constant defiance, the endless no, the battles over getting shoes on, well, we're diving into some great sources today to maybe change how you see that whole struggle.
Yeah, our mission really is to unpack the surprising truth about why kids get so stubborn
Yeah.
and give you 3 solid evidence-based ways to handle it.
And the first big surprise, for me anyway, was that this stubbornness, it's not actually a flaw, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's actually a really vital part of their psychological development. Think about the terrible twos. That's all about autonomy.
Right, that first big push for independence.
Exactly. And then later, maybe ages 6 to 12, it shifts into questioning authority, which is also crucial. It's literally them building their sense of self.
So the sources suggest we should actually stop calling it stubbornness.
Yes. That's a key shift. The language matters. Instead of stubborn, which sounds negative, try strong-willed.
Strong-willed. Okay, how does that change things?
Well, it reframes it completely. When you guide that strong will properly, research shows it can actually protect against issues later on, like substance abuse or conduct problems in adolescence.
Wow. So it becomes a strength.
Absolutely. Strong-willed kids often learn to advocate for themselves. They can become more creative, more determined, often good leaders because they stick to their beliefs.
Okay, but we should probably clarify. We're talking about typical kid stuff, right? Like defiance when they're tired or hungry.
Precisely. We need to draw a line. This isn't about ignoring potential clinical issues.
So when does it become a red flag?
You'd look for behavior that's really severe, happens constantly across different places like home and school, and seriously disrupts daily life for, say, 6 months or more. That might point to something like ODD, oppositional defiant disorder.
And that needs professional assessment.
Definitely. But for most of the day-to-day no's, we're looking at developmental reasons.
Okay, so let's unpack that why. The research seems to say every no is basically a communication attempt.
That's it. They're trying to tell us something they don't have the words for. And the biggest driver, often it's a need for control.
Control, that basic human need for autonomy.
Exactly. Think about it. We all want some say in our lives. Conflict kicks in when we, as parents, maybe exert control just out of habit over little things.
Just managing them?
Kind of. And the child feels that loss of agency, so they push back. It's natural.
But my gut reaction is, if I give them control when they're defiant, aren't I just rewarding the defiance?
That's the counterintuitive part. It feels wrong, but the idea is to be proactive. You give them control over small, non-essential things before the fight starts.
Structured choices, you mean?
Exactly. Structured, appropriate choices. That way they feel that sense of control and maybe don't need to fight you so hard on the important boundaries.
Okay, so need for control is reason one. What if that need isn't met and they can't explain why they're upset?
Well, that leads straight into reason two, a communication breakdown. The defiance becomes this, raw, inarticulate request. They act out because they feel unheard.
Because they don't have the words for, I feel ignored, or I need space.
Precisely. And reason three often ties in. They're just overwhelmed by big feelings.
Like frustration, tiredness, anxiety.
Yeah. And that stubbornness is their fight response kicking in because their system is overloaded. They're dysregulated.
Which means punishment in that moment is kind of pointless.
Worse than pointless, often. It just adds more stress, maybe shame. They're not in a state where they can learn from it. You're basically punishing an overwhelmed nervous system.
Okay, so let's get practical. Strategy number one directly tackles that control need. Shift to collaboration.
Right. Instead of just issuing orders, you bring them into the process. Offer limited age-appropriate choices.
So not eat your vegetables.
But maybe, hey, would you like broccoli or carrots tonight? You still set the menu, but they get a say.
Or leaving the park instead of time to go NW.
You could try negotiating. Okay, we need to leave in 5 minutes for dinner. Do you want 2 more slides or 1 big swing? You're still leaving, but they participate in how. It becomes joint problem solving.
Makes sense. Strategy 2, empathy and two-way communication. Which sounds great, but may be hard when you're already frustrated yourself.
It does take practice, but it's about modeling. And crucially, helping them build emotional literacy. You literally name their feelings for them.
Like, wow, you seem really frustrated that your tower fell down.
Exactly.
Right?
I get it. It's okay to feel frustrated. You're giving them the vocabulary they lack. So maybe next time they can use their words instead of, hitting or yelling.
Okay, final strategy, number 3. Logical consequences, not punishment. This is a big one for me. My default used to be taking away screen time for everything.
A common one. But that's
Exactly.
punitive. It's unrelated. A logical consequence is directly connected to the action.
So if the issue is getting shoes on to go to the party,
But the logical consequence is we can go to the party as soon as your shoes are on. The ability to go is directly tied to the shoes. It's not you lost your temper, so no party.
that's a clear difference. And you mentioned something about meltdowns.
Right. During a full meltdown, the priority isn't teaching a lesson or consequences, it's co-regulation,
Co-regulation. He means
meaning you help calm their nervous system with your calm nervous system. You regulate yourself first, stay calm, be present. You can't teach or reason with a child who's completely flooded emotionally. Calm comes first, then you can talk about what happened maybe later.
okay, so wrapping this up, the big shift here is seeing that strong will not as a problem to crush, but as potential.
Exactly, as resilience, determination. The raw material for a capable adult. It requires guidance, not suppression.
So here's the final thought we want to leave you with, building on that idea of control.
Yeah, if defiance is often this desperate bid for some autonomy,
Mhm.
think about this. What one small, non-essential part of your child's day could you hand over to them permanently, starting today?
Something that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme.
Like letting them choose their own weather-appropriate clothes each morning, or being entirely in charge of packing their own snack. Give them that guaranteed bit of control preemptively and just see. See if it reduces the friction elsewhere. It's a small investment that can pay off big time.